Hi, I'm Dan Reich with Century 21.
And this is Preet Ubi, Century 21, listing agent for this beautiful Capitol Hill listing.
So today we wanted to take you through the house, outside and in, to explain just what a wonderful place this is here on Capitol Hill, located between 10th and Federal Avenue. Notice one thing we'd like to share is just the privacy being downtown and having the mature landscape. It offers such privacy and enjoyment to be actually in the front yard.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah. So we're going to take you on inside, and before we do, we want to stop at the porch, and I want to show you what a nice place is to relax and enjoy being in this home and the privacy with the mature landscape. So Preet, like I was saying at the first of the video, this porch area is a really nice, relax, come home, have a glass of wine, and enjoy the mature landscaping of these beautiful trees and the privacy in your own neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you get to do it in the front yard.
Rare to
And one last thing I want to mention as we walk into the house is the little bench area right there. How nice it is to just, it's in the shade. You want to just kick back, read a magazine, read a book. It'd be a great place to put a nice little bench and some pillows.
Yes.
The university was famous to invite professionals in to instruct for 1 year. And that's the year this protege studied and submitted this plan as his assignment.
Wow.
That's the story I got from one of the previous owners. So let's go inside and have a look around.
Welcome in.
So Preet, why don't you give us a guided tour on the main floor, start here, and then we'll go upstairs, and then we'll go downstairs.
Would love to.
Okay.
Well, we are here right in the foyer.
Good.
From here, let's walk towards the formal living area here.
Okay.
Full of natural light, beautiful tall windows, unique fireplace setup.
And this tile work is I call these embossed tiles because they've got a pattern and they're just texture to them. And this was a feature that was put in a lot of upper end homes in the cities. In the early 1910 through 1940, you'll see a lot of this, and it's a real signature piece. You're up.
And this foyer also leads us to the magnificent, elegant dining area.
Great. Let's go have a look. One thing I want to show everybody and point out is that this house, they've left the integrity of the original leaded windows. A lot of homes go to a double pane or whatnot, but the owners, as they brought this current with the remodel updates, they decided to leave the leaded glass in place. And then also a feature of Frank Lloyd Wright is that the architecture in the windows themselves was one of the first architects to put so much into the windows. One thing I also wanted to mention was the tall baseboard, and then they also left the original heat registers.
Let's talk about the upgraded kitchen. Fully renovated kitchen with granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, beautiful cabinetry, built-in breakfast nook, and the side buffet table.
And Preet, I was noticing when I walked into the kitchen, this picture you have of the house in, this was 1938.
Yes.
And you can see that obviously at that point there wasn't the mature landscaping that you have now. And it might not have had the same comfortable feel to be sitting out in your front porch as it does today.
Right. All right, now we are here in our basement.
So Preet, I noticed when I came down to the basement, when I first came into the house, it didn't feel like it wasn't always this way.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of the renovation that was done in 2019 by Jazz Builders. They are one of the top renovation companies of Seattle, and they make sure when they do a job, they keep the integrity of the house and merge everything as if it was never a new addition.
They kept with the same window style, and they also did a feature in the ceiling that I really like, is these beams. They framed in these beams, which you don't normally see. So it doesn't feel like a basement at all.
You're right.
Like a very upgraded, comfortable, just hangout space, watch a movie, do some homework on your computer, get caught up, and if you're feeling guilty, you ate too much popcorn, you hop on the bike and pedal while you watch TV and burn off the calories. So it's a win all the way around. The feature that's real modern and people love these days are these bar doors, but these are glass. And notice how they matched, again, they kept with the integrity of the windows outside in these featured doors. So it's a really clever mix of modernizing and yet keeping with tradition. And it feels just so comfortable down here. And it doesn't feel old. It feels refreshing and exciting and new. So it's just going to live very comfortable.
So I quickly want to talk about this flex room. This is one of my favorite rooms in the whole house. There's so much bright light in this room because of the tall windows. There is space for a bed or an office desk. It also has a closet, so you can use it as you wish, but definitely a very lively room.
I like the features of the tall windows, which you don't normally see in a lower level of these kind of homes.
Yes, and that contributes to like the natural light, almost 24/7 feels like.
So we're going to go upstairs, everybody, and take a look around up there. I just wanted to point out that this is the original banister of the house. And there's no replacement. It's in amazing condition, and it is a feature that is hard to keep in a home like this without them being altered. So this is original style and wood.
Perfect.
So when you're in a home price like this one, these are the things that are hard for people to understand until they've visited the house. What you get for a house of this nature, in its location, with its privacy, and it's like it's been planted in a garden, this house. I mean, it reminds me of going to my grandma's house in the Midwest, and this is the kind of plumbing features they had, and their house was built in the 1920s, so same time era.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's comforting, Vegetation, still allowing light in, but you don't need your drapes pulled all the time, and be private. So this has a very garden feel in this room because of the maturity of the trees and the quality of the trees. They're not just some scrub brush leaning against the window. This looks like it's been designed this way.
Let's check out the beautiful primary suite.
One thing I like about this room that is so spectacular is, one, how light it is naturally, and then this prominent view of Husky Stadium right in your backyard with Lake Washington speckled through the whole landscape here, and then obviously the Cascade view behind it. So another feature that Frank Lloyd Wright was famous for is his lighting, and in this case this was one of his features. Preet, one thing I am excited about this house is you saw the picture from 1938, right?
Right.
And how just sort of open all the space was. It was very new.
Right.
And now you have this beautiful courtyard with all this glorious vegetation around.
Yes.
This slate walkway taking us into a courtyard where we could also have another private little grouping. You know, and that's one thing about an entertaining home is they have different places that you can get groups of people and they enjoy themselves and have different conversations. And once you get down here, once again, it's very private.
Yep.
I could relax, sit in a chair, and my neighbors aren't going to see me. They've got this beautiful green surround with the architecture to complement whatever conversation we're having.
Yeah. I mean, coming back to the point about having privacy, right?
Right.
The front deck and the side patio, 2 options.
Very private.
Pick your favorite.
That's right. So Preet, we just did a walkthrough through the house. That is a gorgeous listing here on Queen Anne Hill. What were your thoughts when you first got here and you did the research back at the office and you got here as you're parking your car? I mean, what were you thinking?
I was simply amazed. I loved the ambiance, I loved the landscaping, the architecture of the house, just looking around at the neighborhood, because you don't expect something like this coming to Seattle. There was no parking issues. The landscaping looked beautiful, and what we talked about before, the privacy.
Yeah.
Stepping up to this deck over here, the front porch, I was amazed. I stood there for a couple of seconds and I looked around, and I just felt like I was in paradise.
Well, I know, and when I came to do an open house for you, and I thought the same thing. I parked my car, and I'm like, this is just a nice feel in the neighborhood. And I walked up, and I was like, wow, I go, this entrance is so welcoming.
Yes.
And nice, and it just felt like I just want to sit out here and drink a cup of coffee and just go, I'm in Seattle.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of everything, and I have this kind of mature privacy, and it just felt it just made me feel rich.
I agree. As I started talking to the homeowners, Mark and Philip, I just could see these little details that would be such an amazing feature that a buyer would look at and say, yes, I'm ready to buy this home. So I really think this is a very unique home. One has to be standing right here to realize what a unique masterpiece this is.
And I know that you said, and you are one of our office's best agents, and I feel that you said to them you were the best for this job, and to prove it, its house has been on the market, and we've had some interest rate bumps that has changed the marketing a little bit. Let's be honest, for everybody.
True.
So this video, to just try to expose the magic of the area was the goal, because these are things you just don't get in a picture.
Absolutely.
And so if you could speak, if I'm looking online, if you could say one thing as a professional listing real estate agent, what would you say that the pictures don't say?
I would say the feel that you receive when you are inside the house. You will feel warm, you will feel welcomed. You will know exactly that this is the place you want to bring your family to and spend next couple years with them.
Right, because here we are in this architecturally diverse, you don't get this in current neighborhoods that are big developments. You just don't get this. This is good old Seattle. It's as regal and majestic, and it feels just these different time eras all come together in the different style of houses around here. It just feels so reminiscent of an era gone by that you can still enjoy. Even better now because of the maturity of the landscape.
And one thing that I do want to emphasize is that when I do host open houses, lots of neighbors come to these open houses and they have lived in this neighborhood for 20 years, 35 years, 40 years, and that talks a lot about the amazing neighborhood that this house is in. So you get the benefit of an amazing neighborhood at the same time this beautiful house that might be your forever home.
That's right, and there's when you have long-term neighbors like that, the stability of the neighborhood is solid.
Yes.
Everyone has such pride in their homes here. And that's one thing I noticed when we did the video is there was no bad backdrops.
So true.
I mean, I'll say that there was a little porta potty across the street, but that was just a porta potty because they did some construction work.
It's going to be gone.
It's going to be gone. And it's there so you know where they went to the bathroom.
Right.
That's good. But the neighborhood is so inviting. The backdrops are natural and welcoming. All the homes feel wonderful here. The lucky new homeowner that buys this place will have a place that they'll just cherish and get a lifestyle. Not just an amazing home, but a lifestyle.
Yes, I cannot agree enough. It's going to be a combination of so many things. Beautiful landscaping, beautiful architecture, great layout, floor plan, great upgrades at the same time, keeping the history of the home intact, which is very unique.
You know, I haven't been here while there's a football game going at Husky Stadium, but I bet you can hear it.
Yes.
And how exciting would that be? You know, football season, the leaves are turning colors and reds and golds are popping out, and then you hear the fight song for the Huskies going over there. How nice would that be?
Mesmerizing.
Yeah.